You have tuned in to The Thinking Class with Lawrence D. Adams. Let's go. Salute everyone. This is Lawrence D. Adams. This is when spirituality and the game combines. You have the thinking class. Shout out. Good to see everyone here. Good to see everyone here. Good to see you, my dude. Been a while. We are back and we are live. Man, I am so excited about today. Dancing with darkness, unlocking the strength by facing your inner demons. Oh my God. Salute, brother. Good. It's good to get the likes up. Good to see everybody here. Wait till everybody get into the chat room. Everybody get started. But today we're going to talk about this dancing with darkness. This really should be dancing with your darkness. And I have a lot to share today. I'm excited. It's been a great week. A lot of things. Matter of fact, I had a crazy dream last night. I was fighting in my sleep and all kind of stuff. But I'm gonna talk some game today, so I'm gonna say some things that's going to hit home. It's going to get home. I've said this many times before. You need to qualify who you allow to speak in your life. That's all I'm gonna say. You better qualify who's speaking in your life, who's saying what they're saying. Let me just start up here. Take the gloves off first. You need to qualify those who speak in your life. There's a situation that's going online and the qualifications don't line up to what they're speaking about. Shout out to Mr. Lucario. He said something on his post. Most people, it's a difference between an influencer and an expert. Let me say that again. Shout out to Mr. Lucario, good brother. Been knowing him. He's been in this space for a long time, as long as I has, maybe longest I have, or maybe even longer. Shout out to Mr. Lucario. There's a difference between a person who is an influencer and a person who is an expert. Most of y'all be getting duped by those people who want to be an expert. I mean, who want to be an influencer and not an expert. People who actually live this life, not talk about it when they get the cameras rolling. And that's all I'm gonna say. There's a difference between an influencer and a person who's an expert. Experts have lived, tested. Is not just theory for them. The game is on them. I don't know who needs to hear this, but they need to hear it. The game is not just talking words. It is your actions that follow your words. We got a lot of people who can talk real slick. They sound real good when they get the cameras on, the lights are on. They got a lot of viewers. They got a lot of people follow them. But at the end of the day, are they an expert of what they're talking about? And most of all, are they living the life they are professing on these social media streets? There's a lot of YouTubians and Facebookians and Instagramians and all them all here talking real good. But if you pull back the cover and check their life, baby, ain't nothing in there. All they've been doing is influencing you, and they have not been experts when it comes to this game. I have to say that. I have to. And it's the thing I always say that I'm the first one. Check me out. I don't got everything together. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes. Some people I may have dated in the past to tell you something. They probably what I don't care. This is what it is. You're getting the raw, authentic LDA raw. I'm like this, and I'm like this in public. I'm like this behind closed doors. This is who I am. Y'all need to check the difference between those who are trying to influence you versus those who are experts when it comes to this game, who actually live in it and not pretending when they get up here on these social media streets. Which leads me, good to see you, William. Good to see you, Brother Love Show. Good to see you, Apple. Good to see everybody. I just have to say that. And then two, let me, I ain't even got to the teaching yet. The second point is this. You should be at a place when you can say, I don't know about that, what you're saying. It ain't lining up to my knower on the inside. Let me say that again. You should be able to look and listen to someone and say, I hear what they're saying, but something on the inside of me saying, what they're talking about, they ain't living or it ain't right. Let me say that again. You should be at a place where you'll be able to discern whether the person who's talking, are they just talking to give you something to give you something to itch your ears and make you feel good, and it's the new social thing to do? Or are they really living that life? This is what we're going to be talking about today. Dancing with darkness, unlocking the strength by facing your inner demons. Oh my God. I got to say that. So shout out to Mr. Lucario. I seen him post it. So shout out to him. You know, it's a difference between an influencer and an expert. Ooh, I just finished a video about silent struggle. I'm a part of your 1,000. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good to see you guys in here. You guys have been here for the longest. Thank you. But I'm just here to tell you, and I'll be the first one to say, I am not perfect. I don't got it all together. I made some mistakes. So I ain't going to hear and say, no, I'm saying one thing and I'm living another. I make mistakes too. I done said some things, did some things. I am not perfect. I don't have it all together. This leads me to dancing with darkness. Most men are afraid to get in the ring with the darkness within them. Let me say that again. Most men, they may be able to fight, go down the street in certain neighborhoods and not be scared. They may be able to, wrestle with the crocodiles, but they're afraid to get in the ring and fight or get in the ring with the part of them that's dark. And I'm saying something that I had to wrestle with just even last night. What's going on, Matt? Not perfect, but a hell of a dancer. My dude, Matt. Kendrick Lamar just dropped the album. Good. Okay. I don't know who you are, but, if it's not talking about what we're talking about, we know what to do. Apple, I gotta figure out why you ain't got no let me do this right now. I'm gonna do this right now. But I'm gonna say this: dancing with darkness. Dancing with your darkness. I'm about to make you a I don't know why you not a what do you call that? Moderator in here. Because I don't got time for a bunch of you know what in here. So let me get to my show right quick. Make sure this is down. Gotta do this on the fly. What is my name? LDA. Here we go. We're live. And where you at? Where you at? Add as a moderator. Boom. Here we go. There you go. So yeah. So if this person keep talking, you know what to do with it. Because it ain't lining up what we're talking about. So dancing with darkness, unlocking the strength by facing you. So a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to get into the ring with the dark part of themselves, the things that they don't tell anybody, the secret parts of them that are hidden from public consumption, things that they just don't share with anybody. But yet those things that they're not sharing is eating them up alive. Thank you. All right, you about to get timed out. There's eating them up alive. And what we have is a lot of men who are secretly afraid to dance, go into the darkness of who they are, and face the things that they don't want to talk about. Oh, we all have them. I have them. Your mama had them. Daddy had them. Everybody had them. And we're afraid to deal with those things, those uncomfortable things, that shadow self inside of us. Things that we have suppressed so deep inside of us because we were told we got to be tough, we got to be a man. You can't talk about that. That's not something you need to deal with. But are you willing to get into the ring with the shadow or the darkness inside of you? The reason why we don't see the authentic man coming forth is because a lot of men are afraid to face what's inside of them that they don't want to talk about. The trauma, the doubt, the unbelief, the lack of confidence, the ability to speak or not to speak. They don't want to dance in the darkness. They do not want to go deep and unplug the things inside of them that's driving them crazy. So they settle in and never speak their truth. I've been saying this for years. There's been a lot of men and women who are afraid to speak their truth, of fear of rejection, fear someone may not like it. So they're afraid to dance with the darkness that's inside of them. The fact that we all have demons we need to fight, face instead of hiding and suppressing. Correct. And I think what happened is a lot of us, especially us men, been conditioned through this social media era and before to not to say what we really think, what we really feel. Maybe not Matt Farron. What we really think and what we really feel, what's going on with us. And so what happens is we have a community, not just a community, but we have a nation of men who are mute, who do not speak their truth, who are afraid to embrace that darkness inside of them and to confront. And so because you do not want to face the darkness inside of you, you walk with a limp, or people just don't trust you all the way, or you deal in relationships but so far because you cannot enjoy true intimacy. You trust people but they don't really trust you. You get money and then you lose it. You go 10 steps forward and then you've 10 steps back. Could it be that you refuse to deal with the demon or the darkness inside of you? Things that is bugging you at night, the dreams that you have, and you're like me. I had a dream last night. I was fighting. I'm like, what the heck? I'm fighting someone, and I know the situation, and I needed to confront how I felt and what I thought about what happened. That happened over 15 years ago. Are you willing to dance with your darkness? When you begin to embrace those things about you that you don't want to share light on, guess what happens? It begins to strengthen who you are. Let me not give so much theory and sound. So women have more of a community and allowed to be emotional expressive. Correct. That's why men need to see community. So Patreon, I already set it up. Go on there. You can. There's a chat room there, and we can talk. But let me go back to this. The problem is a lot of us are afraid of looking at the things that are not so pleasant about us. I'll be the first one to admit it. We're afraid that if we be our true self, that the world will not accept us, not approve of us, and not look at us in a healthy way. So what we do is we shrink back from being our true self, because if I expose my darkness, someone may not like it. Someone may not agree with it. Someone may not accept it. I may not get the promotion. I may not get the wife. I may not get this. You start getting all these scenarios because you refuse to go and face the darkness inside of you. And one of the best things that you can do to face the darkness inside of you, and it's so simple, we know this, is to shed light on it. What in you what is it inside of you that you are afraid to share light on about yourself? We can talk game. I can tell you about women. I can tell you about money. I can tell you about this. But what inside of you that you refuse to go into the dark room and look in your life and say, you know what, that right there, I really need to face that right there. Some of you would never get the game, would never experience true power, because power is not given, it's taken. Never experience true power until you look in the mirror or look in yourself, in your soul, and see that darkness inside of you. Oh, we all have it. We all have it. That dark things about you that are not pleasant, or things that are pleasant that you refuse to bring to light. And see, in this season that we're in, as far as going into the Thanksgiving, Christmas, or whatever the case may be, it is advantageous that men go and search and do and get the light, flashlight, and begin to search inside their heart. You know, those thoughts you had about that woman at the gym, you know, that time you wanted to steal, but you didn't steal, or that time where you thought you was going to cheat on your taxes, you know, that time, or when you told your girlfriend one thing, but you were thinking another thing, you know, those things. You know, when your wife was asking you where you been, you said I was out with the boys, but you was actually, you know, getting other services. It's deal or when you know you should have told the person the truth, but you didn't want to hurt their feelings, so you didn't tell them the truth. I heard something a couple weeks ago and I shared it, and I'm gonna say it here, and I want you to really get this. It is a sin. It is a sin to say no to something that you should have said yes to. And it goes vice versa. It is a sin to say no to something you should have said yes to. And vice versa. It's a sin to say yes to something that you should have said no to. And the reason we don't do it because we're afraid to face that part of us that's in the darkness. Let me get to my next point. When you face that part of you that's dark and you embrace it. What's going on, Fear Soul? Good to see you, brothers, in here. When you face that part of you that you don't want nobody to see and you don't fight it anymore, the fears, the doubt, the unbelief that you hold inside of you, when you not just face it, but you embrace it. See, there's a difference from facing it and embracing it. Oh, we can say, yeah, man, I do like, some of y'all may like, I like looking at this on at night, but it's a difference from facing it and embracing. When you embrace the darkness inside of you, something magically emerges in front of you. You begin to embrace your authentic self. That's why you can hear people on social media who talk real slick, influencers and not experts, because they have not embraced the authentic self. You embrace your authentic self when you embrace the darkness inside of you and you are not ashamed. Many times what's stopping us is the shame. It ain't the devil. It ain't God. It ain't Buddha. It ain't Allah. Ain't none of them things stopping you. It is the shame if I've exposed this or if I embrace this, what will others think? And you shame your own self. But if you embrace your authentic self wholeheartedly, I guarantee life will begin to open up for you. I had to do that, man. Like I said this week, I had to face some things about me that was not right, was completely wrong. Some attitudes, some perspectives, some things about women. Uh-oh. Did he say that? Yeah. Nothing to fear but fear itself, right? And we need to embrace our fear. Shame is one hell of a, thank you. I like that. Shame is one hell of a drug. I had to face some things, some erroneous teachings and beliefs and perspectives that was completely wrong, that was stuck in my shadow. That I had to say, you know what? I got to get in the ring, not only fight this, but embrace this. Where do I need to embrace things about me that I don't want anybody to know about? Y'all this part right here, you better get ready for this. You better get ready for this. The reason why you have not experienced the level of intimacy you seek from a woman or from anything else is because you have not dealt with the intimacy with your own self. The reason why you'll go to Pornhub, you're going to X videos, or you're going to smoke weed, or you're going to hang out with the boys, or you're going to do that because you're trying to cover up, because you don't want to get intimate with yourself. So you masqueraded with sex. You're masqueraded with getting drugs. You're masqueraded with being a whore. The reality of it is you're seeking intimacy on the external and not going internally and say, how can I be intimate with myself? And how do you become intimate with yourself? By dancing in the dark or dancing with your darkness. Because this is the thing, you're looking for everything on the outside to fulfill you, and it would never do it. You can get all the money in the world and then hang yourself. You can have all the women in the world. You can be, big pimping. You can have all the women in the world and never be satisfied. You can get all the game and strategies and what I need to do, how to be a better person, and none of it works because you're looking for something on the outside to fulfill you because you refuse to be intimate with your own self. And most men are afraid to be intimate with themselves, so they run away like a kid, running away from a bully because they don't want to deal with the darkness inside of them. If this is resonating with you, put a number 2 in the chat room. What do you think it means if you have a wife family, but you still have dark contraries to what you have? So if you that's a good one. But put a 2 in the chat room. That's a good question. So if you have that, you need to first deal with you. Then the second thing is within reason, because you need to get with a group of men where you can share those things about you that you normally couldn't share, and then disseminate it to your wife or what's going on. I heard this doctor, and I'm not going to say the doctor's name, share with this man who was struggling. He thought he had a sexual addiction, and he was hooked on the Pornhub. And I know I'm talking to somebody because I'm right down your alley. And he thought that, the issue was his constant distraction with looking at other people have sex on video. That's what it is. But the thing was, when the doctor and him got on the phone, got on Zoom call, he said, I know what I want you to do. I want you to tell me, log into Pornhub, put it on the screen, and show me what you're looking at. This guy's like, wait a minute, bro. You telling me to do what? See, I want you to show me what you're looking at. And the guy's like, dog, I don't know about all that. So he pulled up the site, pulled up what he liked to look at, what category he looked at, and they began to look at it. Why did he do that? He needed to shed light what he was doing in private that was shameful to him. And he noticed after he shared it with the doctor, what they were looking at, weeks later, he had no desire to look at that anymore. What took place there? Someone took a light and exposed the darkness inside of him. And it no longer had the hold on him. He no longer felt ashamed about it because he was no longer hiding in his darkness. Some of y'all are hiding in your darkness because of shame. But if you had someone to actually pull the covers back and say, look, I see you. I see what you're doing. I see how you lied. I see how you deal with your money. I see how you're dealing with your wife. I see what you did. You didn't nobody know what you did when you went out, when you was at the club. All of that will lose strength and you will be free. You will get your power back. What's holding us in the darkness is our shame. Let me say that again. What's many times is holding us from facing our darkness is our shame of what we're doing in the dark. If this is resonating, y'all need to put the number 2 in the chat room. Put the number 2 in the chat room. Put a number 2 in the chat room. He's like, whoa, LDA, this is heavy. Put a number 2 in the chat room if this like, yo, I ain't never thought about that. Many times what keeps us in the dark and not sharing with others or even addressing ourselves is because we are ashamed. And shame, greater than fear, keeps you trapped in the darkness. And what it does with the shame, it robs you of your power because you feel ashamed. Nobody needs to know. Thank you, my dude. Yeah, see? Y'all quiet now. It's the shame that's keeping you from exposing your own self. As we see in the political arena right now, there's a lot of things that are going on. The best thing you can do is expose yourself before somebody else exposes you. Even on these social media streets, on these YouTubians, best thing you can do is say, hey, that was me. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I was wrong. And face the shame of what you've been doing. You bring it to light. Many of the struggles that men have is because of their shame and they refuse to bring it to light. Married, family, pastor, prophet, teacher, imam, I don't care who you are, priest, influencer. You refuse to deal with the things that are inside of you that you do not want to face. And so what happens is you suppress it, you suppress it, you suppress it. Then you get all the money, you get the girls, you get the fame, you get everything else, and guess what happens? At that time, it pops its head up out of nowhere, and you out there doing something you shouldn't have been doing because you had to face that dark part of you. I've seen it happen too many times. I've seen it happen too many times, as far as with church, as far as the people that are in church, people that were popular, famous people, because they did not want to face the darkness that's inside of them. They wasn't willing to dance in the darkness. They wasn't willing to face what's really bothered them. They weren't really to face. I'll give a real, general. I'll say this. They didn't want to face. They didn't want everybody to know that they like apple pies. So they go in secret at night about 12 o'clock and eat apple pie and eat it and order another pie, and then they eat some more pie. And when they're in public, this is what they do. Anybody who eat apple pie, they should be slapped. Anybody who eat apple pie should be stopped. Anybody who eats apple pie should go to hell. Apple pie is wrong. But secretly, at 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, they're ordering apple pie on Uber Eats because they love apple pie. What's going on, Evie? What's going on, cuz? Because they don't want to deal with the things that's really bothering them or the things that they really like inside of them. They don't want to deal with the part of them that's hurting. They don't want to deal with the things that's eating them up. And it's so easy to blame it on everyone else. It was this one, it was that one. She was there, he wasn't there. But you don't want to dance in the darkness and deal with your own demons. When you finally wake up and deal with the demons that are inside of you, they actually lose power because of this one scripture. There is but one God. There is but one God and one power, and that be of God. And that's that right there. When you finally face the things that's been eating you up on the inside, the people who did you right, the people who did you wrong, the people who talked about you, things you've been harboring in your heart that you don't want to face, you finally get free. When you face the truth of who you are. When I was walking down Carnegie Avenue, 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to go to Minuteman to try to get a job. And I got there and the job, they already left. And I was on the phone with John. I don't even know how I kept a phone. Somehow I kept a phone. I guess I had an internet phone, whatever. He said, bro, you got to face your truth. Not anybody else's truth, but face your truth. And one of the truths I had to face was I messed up. I didn't handle my money right. I depended on others. I stayed in the basement with my sister. I now had to live with my mother. The moment I face my truth, that's when freedom happened. I stopped blaming because of stuff that happened in my past. I stopped blaming because of a failed marriage. I stopped blaming because I didn't have the game. Guess what happened? The moment I stopped blaming everyone else and I stopped blaming myself and faced the truth about who I was, that's when the power came in. That's when I began to walk in my authentic self. So God made the demons as your sparring partner to strengthen me. Right. So if we were to really go a little bit esoteric with that, the enemy is really the inner me. The enemy in you is the enemy inside of you. You dealing with the part of you that you don't want to face. The darkness. Or you dealing with the part of you you don't want to face. You don't want to look in the mirror. You go by as a mirror. You put makeup on. You cut your hair a different way. Or the part of you you don't really want to face. Because you refuse to get in the ring and say, you know what? That's me. That's why Jesus had no problem with Judas. That's why Jesus couldn't pick Judas. He knew who Judas was. I've said this many times on here, and I'll say it again. Many people debate about who was the greatest disciple of them all. Who was the greatest disciple? And my opinion is Judas. He was the one who handled the money, took some money off, but he was the one who led him to the cross to fulfill his destiny. Sometimes the enemy inside of you or the people around you think they're the enemy are really ushering you into your purpose. That's why you have to face the darkness inside of you. You got to face the things about you. See, I've been on that street when I say it's my mama, it's my daddy, and my sister would have did, my brother would have did this. If I had more education, if I was a different color, all those things mean nothing when you got to face your inner self. Especially in this climate that we is, everyone wants to talk about, oh, I'm this race and I'm that race and this. That means nothing. Face the situation inside of you, or as we were saying here, face the sugar honey iced tea inside of you, because it's your own ass fault. When you face it and deal with that, you emerge with strength that you didn't know you have. And the greatest strength that you can have is your own power. See, what we don't deal with has more strength than what we deal with. Let me say that again. What we refuse to deal with inside of us or around us or with people, it's really you're giving more power to. But the moment you take the power back, your power back, because power is not given, it's taken, and you say, no, this is how I feel. This is what I think. No, I don't like fried chicken. No, don't give me any eggs. This is where I am. And you walk in your authentic self. You pull that power back to you. Some of y'all, you refuse to deal with the darkness inside of you because you're afraid to confront other people. Some of the issues that you're experiencing in the game or you're experiencing in life is because you are afraid to confront and stand up for yourself. and say, no, I don't want to do that. You are too nice. I'm talking to someone. You're too nice. You just want to get along. I just want to get along. I don't want to rock the boat. I think we talked about this years ago, but I'm going to say it again. You don't want to rock the boat. I want to be cool. I want everybody to like me. And guess what happens? You get mad at them and you get mad at yourself because you refuse to stand up and speak your truth. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. Wow, we made this back up. We made wow, we made that up back in 2020, and it still resonates. It's your own ass fault. The moment you face it, deal with it, you can face it. Correct. Yeah, we did make that up in 2020. It's your own ass fault. We can say I'm born on the wrong side of the road, and I was born with with turnip greens, and you can say all that crap. It's your own ass fault. I've seen it too many times, especially in my own life. That's why I'm gonna say shout out to Mr. Lucario. I give props to where props are due. It's a difference between an influencer and it's a difference between a person who is an expert. You must qualify those who speak into your life. Don't tell me about a Rolls Royce Cullinan if you never purchased one or leased one in your life. Don't tell me about buying a house if you never rented, you still living in an apartment. Don't tell me about how to tie my shoes and you still got Velcro on. Don't tell me about this one's gonna get y'all. Don't tell me about relationships and about women, and you can't even keep a woman. I think I got somebody disingenuous. Disingenuous to self. Let me say that again. Don't tell me about women and how to get women and what women think, and you can't even keep a woman. Don't tell me about don't come on here talking all that. Because you ain't living what you're talking about. You ain't facing the dark self, the darkness inside of you. I've seen so many people come and go on these social media streets. And the women like this and women like that. They can't even keep a woman. Women are running away from them. Other women that they have are, we ain't did this in a long time. What's going on, Joe Bly? Low hanging fruit. Low hanging fruit. Oh, that leads me to my next thought. The reason why some men are comfortable with low hanging fruit because it feeds into their dark side. Let that marinate right quick. Let me let that one simmer for a minute. The reason why some men and some women, same way, are comfortable with dealing with low hanging fruit is because it is empowered by their dark side. You know that freaky leak, that ghetto girl, that girl that do certain things that's strange for a change because it's inside of you. Don't feed that right. Let me say it again for those in the back of the class, those who are in denial, trying to get game, and you don't want to deal with the things that are inside of you. The reason why you keep attracting that type of woman because it feeds the dark that is part of the darkness that's inside of you that you don't want to face. She tantalize you because it's part of your darkness that you don't want nobody to know. Why would I tell anybody? I like to get this and I like to get that because it's part of your darkness. Then you come on social media, hey, man, I don't even deal with top tier girls. It's part of your darkness. She's part of the darkness that you don't want to face. Isn't it strange when I've been there. Don't y'all look at me strange. Don't say LDA crazy. No, LDA has to deal with some women that was part of my darkness. That this please be real on here. Please tell the truth. I didn't deal with some business adventures that I know was completely wrong. I didn't get, I didn't been out there. I didn't seen some people do some creative thing. It was part of my darkness that I did not want to face. And somehow, in some way, I got a part of it. Then when everything goes down, I want to cry. God, why you do this to me? Why the devil after me? No, it was all you all the time. You were playing all the parts. Oh, she burst my windows out. Yeah, because it's part of your darkness that you don't want to deal with. That you have uh-oh. This must be for somebody. You have a fetish for drama. You did I say that? You have a you don't want to deal with the darkness inside of you. You have a fetish for dark. Your baby mama just happened to be part of your darkness. Your baby daddy happened to be a part of your darkness. And you didn't, since you didn't want to deal with it, guess what happened? Guess who's coming to dinner? The part of you that you didn't want to face in the flesh. So you struggling and going back and forth with my baby mama this, my baby daddy this. These people are like this. It's the part of you do not want to face about you. Whoo, boy, y'all quiet now. And then what you do is you go on social media. I need to get game to figure out what I need to do. Who I need. I'm all for a game. I'm trust me. But you can't. The thing I always teach here. The first game you run is on yourself. And the first thing you must do is put light on yourself. You must deal with it, with the indiscretions inside of you, your own inner demons. So before you talk about, I need to get her straight, she ain't right, man. Let me be completely clear. She can never show up in your life unless you invited her. He can never show up in your life unless you invited them. So if you constantly drawing drama to your life, headaches, people scamming you, we need to look in the mirror and realize somewhere inside of you, you like that kind of stuff. If this is resonating with you, put a number 3 in the chat room. Don't worry, I've been there too. Put a number 3 in the chat room. You're like, yo, LDA, why are you hitting this so hard? If this is resonating with you, put a number 3 in the chat room. Don't try to hide now. See, when you hide, you lie. Whatever exposed, whatever is not, whenever you expose, it stops it from growing. Oh, I know I'm talking to somebody. It's like, you hide that crush that you have with someone and it grows inside of you. But until you confront it and deal with it, guess what? That's when it changes. I've seen it too many times with a lot of men. That's when you see the downfall of a man or a woman. It's because they refuse to deal with the darkness inside of you, inside of them. Where am I at? 48. And some of you refuse to deal with the flaws about you. When we talked about shame, but the flaws, you ain't and will not be perfect. Ooh, by the way, you never really hiding anything. Someone will always know. Correct. The truth will always come to light. Trust me. So think about that. That's a good. Let me lay my hat right there. Facts. Want everyone. Facts. Wants everyone to you, but you don't like yourself. Right. You want everyone to like you, but you don't like yourself. I got you. Let me lay my hat right there. The truth will always come to light. Let's stay right there. The truth will always come to light. That is a truism. Wouldn't it be wise? Wouldn't it be wise to put light on yourself first? The truth will always come to light. So wouldn't it be wise to put light on yourself, or to expose yourself first, or to look at your darkness first, so that you face your truth? Last night, had a great conversation, went to sleep, and I had to face the truth that I was upset. And I'm being very transparent with this. I was very upset about my brother's death, my brother being shot. My brother being shot in East Cleveland. I was mad. I never expressed or thought about. I just went through. I went through and just say, I got to get to Cleveland. I got to be there for my family. Got to get through the funeral. My brother is gone. But I never processed inside of me the anger I had at certain individuals who were there that are alive. And if you didn't know, my brother had been shot. They were trying to get somebody else and they shot him. I never processed my anger and disdain towards the whole situation. And it showed up at the I was trying to get some sleep. I'm trying to look good, keep my beard together, keep my skin together. I'm trying to get my sleep so I look, get up and go to the gym in the morning. But I never dealt with the anger, the disdain I felt towards individuals who were in that space prior to my brother getting shot and even afterwards. And I buried it deep inside of me, and it showed up last night in my dreams. I woke up I was in the middle of the night fighting in the air. Almost hit the window. I was fighting. Why? Because I was angry and I didn't deal with the anger that I felt of losing my little brother. The anger of people who are still alive and my brother is gone. The anger of people knowing who did it, but never wanted to come clean about it. People who are going on with their lives, healed, delivered, set free. But I never dealt with the anger that was inside of me about losing my little brother. Unresolved trauma, tears at the soul. Correct. Yep, it sure does. And once I say, you know what, I got to deal with this. And the first thing I had to do, make your truth your light. I had to face the truth. I'm pissed off. I don't like it. I'm upset. I wish they would have never. I wish they would have got. I wish they would have got knocked. Out of all everybody that got taken place, my brother's the only one who died. I had to face all those raw feelings and disappointments of what took place. Was it easy? No, it wasn't easy. I woke up this morning still a little grouchy and still a little bit upset, still like trying to gather myself. I went through my meditation, my morning prayer and meditation to actually process it anymore and allow the feelings and the things come up inside of me. But I got to be completely honest. I'm pissed off about it, especially when you see people and they smile and they were in the house when my brother got shot. That right there, I'm giving that to show you about facing the darkness inside of you. I could have hid that and internalized that. But I think the best thing you can do is to face it and to bring light to it. Yeah, I didn't like it. Yeah, I'm upset. Yeah, it's bothering me almost 10 years, over 10 years and counting. Especially when you lose somebody that's close to you. We were 2 years apart. If I'm 52, he would have been 50. Now he didn't get the opportunity to be there. So dancing with the darkness unlock the strength of facing your inner demons, which you don't hide will reside. I know that sounds cliches, but I'm just going to say it. Which you hide will reside. Which you refuse to deal with will still be there. Are you willing to dance with the darkness that's inside of you? Are you willing to face the things about you that you know ain't right? Are you willing to regain your power or take back your power? Because power is not given, it's taken. Take back your power and step into your masculinity and tell your truth. Be authentic. Wow, appreciate that, brother. Oop, I put the baby on. I meant to put the baby on. I need to learn. I need to learn to dance better. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Joe Bias. Appreciate that. Are you willing to face that darkness inside of you? When you face it and embrace it and say, this is the totality of who I am, something happens. Let me give the good side of this. Things become magnetic to you. Whoa, wait a minute. How does that happen, LDA? When you begin to face the things about you, good, bad, and indifferent, and you embrace it, you become magnetic because most people are hiding anyway. From taking back my power and saying no. Yep, see, good. When you embrace the ugly, the nasty, whatever it is, things about you and the good things about you, and you face it and you're no longer ashamed about it and you forgive, we didn't talk about that, you forgive yourself, you automatically become magnetic. And then you also you get your strength back. It's amazing when I begin to speak up and speak my truth and saying what I really think and what I feel, how life becomes magnetic to me. Like my filter has completely gone. Well, I like this. I don't like this. No, I'm not going for that. No, this is what I like. This is where I'm going. Life becomes magnetic and the right people show up in your life. You want some game? I'm giving you the game right there. When you embrace who you are in totality, not the bits and pieces and parts and things that you hide, you know, the little secret things that you hide, that you like figurines, that you have a whole Star Wars collection that you don't want to tell anybody because you think if I see that, ain't no girl gonna be rocking with me. You'll be surprised some of the things that you like to do and you like to go and that you're interested in, that there are women like, oh my God. Oh, and they ain't ugly either. Let me put that out there. They like, oh, you like that? I like that too. Let's get together. What? But if you're trying to hide everything about you, like, you might have a whole wall full of figurines of Star Wars, or you like comic books, or you like breeding dogs, or whatever it is, whatever your little secret thing that you refuse to tell everybody about, that's you, because you don't want to embrace it because you're embarrassed about it. You are pushing away people who will celebrate you and liking that. It's amazing how many people go to Comic-Con, Cosmic-Con or Comic-Con or whatever, for different things. Star Wars, they got different for cosplay, they got all kind of stuff. The people who show up, they have the same interests. It's because they refuse to hide in the dark what they like. And when you take the coat off and start pretending what you don't like because you're afraid somebody going to reject you or someone ain't gonna like you, you're not going to experience the intimacy that all of us men want. You think intimacy is just sex. We all want sex. I'd be the first one to tell you. But at the same time, there's a level of intimacy that happens when I'm into me and someone else get into me and I'm into them. You only be fulfilled when you become intimate with yourself and you open the door for someone else to become intimate with you. You're already fulfilled when you're intimate with yourself, but you enjoy the overflow when you have someone who resonates on the same frequency that you are on. Some of y'all choosing on booties and butts and BBLs and ooh, this what everybody else like, and you refuse to face that you like girls with short hair, or you like short girls, or you like tall girls, 6 feet and up, or you like girls that are a little bit over, they got a little bit of cushion for the pushing. You don't want to face that because you want to be accepted by everybody else. Once you face the truth about what you like, stop pretending. Why don't you face the truth about what you really like? Stop pretending. Some of y'all are cheating yourself out of life because you refuse to face what you really like about what you really like and what you don't like. I have certain things I do not like about certain women. Don't come near my way if you got these. I don't like it. I like my women who have their hair, nails done. Hair and nails done. That's something I like. I like that. But if I hide it, I'm getting girls who bite their nails. I'm getting girls who nails look jacked up. Why? Because I refuse to address what I really like. I'm hiding it in the darkness. With that being said, anybody have any questions that they would like to ask in a short period of time? Because you know this is going to be chopped up and I'm going to put it on social media. And there's Patreon. If you missed the Pimp Cybernetics with me and Pimp God, you missed a good thing. It's on Patreon. It is not for the public. And there's a private chat there. It's only, I think, $10 a month. You get all 3 of those. Let me get the link right quick. Copy. Where's the link? Come on. Copy. And did I copy it? Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, here we go. Whoop. And you get into that. Let me see. Paste. This is it. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Some of y'all need to get around some men so y'all can get some strength. There we go. Let me see. How do we join? I guess put the link in there. So if you all 3 installments of the Pimp Cybernetics is on the Patreon. It's right there, sitting right there. I've been had that account, men holding each other accountable for a higher standard. Yep. So if you want to join that, this is Lawrence D. Adams when spirituality and the game combines. It's the thinking class, but this is right there. I wanted to talk about that today because I was dealing with it. I'm up here. I got stuff I had to get myself together about. I ain't above reproach. But this the Patreon. Thank you so much, Joe Blast, for that $7 given towards. Shout out to the darkness. Shout out to the part of you that you don't want to face. Appreciate that. Here's the Patreon. There is a chat in the back on Patreon. I will be dropping some more stuff on there because some things cannot be talked about. We talked about it before. I know we had the other group and we did things before, but some things cannot be shared in the public. What does it mean to be intimate with yourself? Oh, good question. Great question. Let me answer this question. What does it mean to be intimate with yourself? So the first thing we think about when intimate with yourself, like, wait a minute, you mean masturbation or something like that? No, 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 no. What I mean by intimate with yourself is that you are aware, consciously aware of who you are, good, bad, or indifferent. That you are intimate with your thinking, what you like, what you dislike, where you like to go. You become intimately acquainted about who you are, your thinking pattern. We all don't think the same. We all don't have the same fingerprints. When you become intimately acquainted with you become a student of yourself. Many times we refuse to become a student of ourselves because we're really ashamed of what's really there. But when you become intimate with yourself, I mean, you begin to really look at who you really are. You begin to do an inventory of who you are. You become intimate. What I mean intimate, those things inside of you that you like to do. I know because I know you're intimately acquainted with lifting weights. You got on me about a technique about how I wasn't lifting the rate, doing a deadlift. I think I was doing a deadlift or the squats correctly. That's being intimately acquainted about who you are. When you become intimately acquainted with who you are and you are okay of who you are, it opens the door for others to be okay about who you are. And if they're not, so what? I like myself anyway. As I said to somebody yesterday, I'm one hell of a man. So when you become intimately acquainted about who you are, the nuances, the time you like to get up. What is your you? How do you, let me give you another example of being intimately acquainted. My son asked me, "Hey son, Dad said, I'm having trouble with getting my schoolwork and getting things together." I say, "Son, you may be picking your courses at the wrong time." He's like, "What?" What I was saying is, you're more productive early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. You go to the weight room, and then about 8 o'clock, you come back, shower, and you start your first class is going. Your mind is at its highest peak. He said, "Yeah, that's right." He's intimately acquainted on when is the best time for him to be productive. Versus me at night, I'm ready to go. Or in the middle of the day, I'm ready to go. Morning time, I'm like, I'm here nor there. That's being intimately acquainted about when is your peak time of being productive. When is the best time for you to go to sleep? Sometimes you might need a nap in between the day. Why? Because that's when you are productive. That's being intimately acquainted. You know the certain foods that you enjoy to eat and certain foods you should not be eating. That's being intimately acquainted or being intimate with yourself. You know there's certain things that trigger you. You know if somebody says certain things to you, you're going to flip the script and you're going to cuss them out and you're going to tell them how to get there and how to get back. Why? Because that's being intimately acquainted by who you are. You know there's certain clothes that you can wear that makes you feel like a boss. And there's certain other things that you put on that remind you when you were a little kid with your mother. That's being intimately acquainted with it. You know there's certain colognes that you can wear and that you should not be wearing because it stinks on you. That's being intimately acquainted with you. Not just the external, but also the internal. You being intimately acquainted also means you know that there's certain areas that you need to grow in. So you take that time to maximize those areas that you know that needs to be grown with. That's being intimately acquainted with yourself. See, when you begin to do that with yourself, guess what happens? It opens the door for a community or people who are going the same direction you're going in. We always talking about you thrive with your tribe. And to me, correct. You thrive with your tribe. The reason why you can't find your tribe because you have not located you. The reason why you have not found your tribe is because the GPS system has not located you. We're here. We're like, where are you? They're trying to, the GPS is really, she's like, turn left, now turn right, now turn left, turn right, turn right. And the GPS is like, look, I'm tired of trying. We can't find you. You need to turn the GPS system on you to find who you are. You will see when you do this, and I'm in the problem. Maybe I need to talk about this on Patreon. You will see when you do this, the level of relationships that you have. Let me say this, because y'all, this is what you really want to hear. Let me cut to the chase. Y'all want to hear what I'm about to really say? Let me know in the chat room, because I'm gonna say it this way. Because when you become intimate with you, I'm gonna give you this one thing, because this is what you really need to hear. This would be a sure fact sign that you know you intimate. Let me put a one in the chat, and you want to hear this one thing that would make it, you're like, oh, I'm going to be intimate with me. I'm going to get to know me. Let me know in the chat. Put a one in the chat room. I mean, we talking to men. Just cut to the chase. Ain't no pretending here. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, good. Let me put it. Sex goes to another level. Let me say that again. sex goes to another level, because you know what you like, and you expressed it and talked about it, and she reciprocates, and she gets what she wants, and you get what you want. It goes to another level when you become intimate with yourself. Actually, it goes even beyond sex. You go on an energetic level. That's Patreon stuff. I know, when you go to an energetic level where it's more than what's the right word? Having an orgasm. It goes to the next level where we didn't step to the LD after dark, where it goes into a level where you're in a level of intimacy that has no words and it has no time. Uh-oh. You said that's very true. I can confirm that. When you have no words and you have no time, when the level of intimacy is not predicated on 5 minutes and you're done, but it's predicated when you lose, when time is no more. Some of y'all have not experienced that level of intimacy when there's no words to express and there's no time to keep. I'm trying to keep it together on this. Make sure we didn't go into LD after dark. Matter of fact, I move all the LD after dark over to Patreon. All the LDA after darks I got, I think I'm gonna move them all over to Patreon. Yeah. But when you get to that level of intimacy, bruh, it's beyond what you can do for yourself. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm keeping it PG. And some of y'all been chasing this is because you never been intimate with yourself. You chasing it and everything else, but you have not been intimate with yourself. Any more questions before I go? Any more questions before LDA gets out of here? I'm gonna drop this. Thing. It was good. I'm glad you guys came up. Yeah, the Patreon is live and well. Let me, where did I put it? Patreon thinking class. There is a chat in the back room. In the back, if you want to ask some things that are private. If you need that one-on-one with LDA, you need to let me know. Hit me up. You get that one-on-one, because there's some things you may not want to share with the public. And get that one-on-one. But this is Lawrence the Adams with spirituality and the game combined. You have the thinking class, and you know how we do it. Peace to the family. Meet me in the back of Patreon. and I'm out.